What's good, YouTube? Antayami here, back at it again with another video. And in today's video, I just came back from the YCS in Raleigh and actually performed pretty okay. I pretty much went X3 in round 8, so I was no longer able to top. But couple things about that. So I was planning on taking Snake Eye Cash Tier to the event, and then the ban list happened, and it banned a certain amount of cards and stuff like that. By the way, shout out to Baron, rest in peace. But that wasn't the reason why I swapped off the list. The reason why is because they brought back Mally the 3 and a whole bunch of these like floodgate monsters, which is, you know, Colossus and, you know, Protos and things of that nature. So I decided to, like, you know what, let me see if I can cook up something really spicy, which is like 3 days before the actual event, and see what happened. And the problem with that is that I didn't have enough time to really you know, test play with everything and see all the different interactions and all the like real combos. I figured out some things on the fly, but wasn't very like super strong. And then after the event, I went deep into the paint and came up with this really cool, like, crazy list. So we'll talk about that when we go through the profile, but for the most part, we'll just talk about kind of like what I played at the event and what things I will change and what things didn't perform correctly and what things could have been better and stuff like that. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into that. By the way, shout outs to all the people from GSG and all the homies and people that play tested with me and stuff like that, and gave me some like insights and, you know, advice and stuff like that, and just theorying and playing, you know, just keeping me on my A game. So it was very, very fun, and shout outs to everybody. Sorry, I'm not gonna go through the list today because I'm about to be late for work, so I'm gonna drop this profile really fast and go from there. So all right, but yes, you guys know who you guys are, and I love you guys. So I do appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for always supporting and hanging out and giving me encouragement. So starting off with the tier cards, we play the standard, one of each. They're at 1. Then after that, we play the triple Rhino Heart. You want to max this card out because this card is consistency, in my personal opinion. So you do need to play 3 of these. I feel like it's very vital for the deck. Then, of course, you play 3 tier cash. I think 3 tier cash is always mandatory because it just helps your deck mill more. So milling 5 is pretty broken, and in fact, it's a body on board, and you can recycle this card back from your graveyard back to your hand to summon it on your opponent's turn to build more. It's really, really strong. So I feel like 3 is perfect. Going to the tier spell cards, you play 3 planets, you play 3 screen for consistency, and you play 3 Solic for consistency. You don't mill as much as you used to in this deck for free. You can still mill a lot if you get certain hands, because there's been times where I end with like 15 cards in my main deck, 12 cards in my main deck, like 10 passing to my opponent. So but you don't get there every single game without the millers. So yeah, you need to max these out, because if you hit these cards, you can actually gain advantage, and that's what you like to see. Because the problem with this deck is consistency. So if you play, most of the time you win when you do play. The problem is when you have those weird hands where you get Ash Blossom and you have to pass, is those games where you kind of lose. We have the 2 shufflers. These cards are insane for multiple reasons, and it's good into fire, and it's good into like Brandon and things of that nature. And it's also good with another package in this deck, which is the Nemesis package, which is really, really strong because you have like infinite resources when you banish it and then put back 3, and then you use the Nemesis cards to put it back into the deck, and then you can mill it again, and it's almost like you have multiple copies and you don't break on them like that because you're only playing 1. So it's like playing multiple copies, but you only see 1 at a time, which is pretty funny. And I resolved, I think I resolved these cards like 4 times because it was like a deep grind game. So it was pretty insane. 1 Crystal Beast Turtle for the Rainbow Bridge package. 1 Zephyros the Elite to help me go into rank 4, which I'll show off in the extra deck. This card came in clutch. This was probably the worst card in my deck. The times it came up wasn't really necessary. And the times where he really bit me in the butt, he bit me in the butt. But there was times where he definitely came up, like, I'm glad I played him. But I will play something a little bit better that helps me play around hand traps a little bit better. So in the next list, I will show off what I would play instead of this instead, because that card would have came up way better. So once that was the elite, still love them. And then we have the triple Mally. This engine is so insane. And unfortunately, there's a card in this extra deck that I didn't play that'll make this card even more insane. So my update follow-up video for tier, you guys will see what I'm talking about. And it plays around tons of hand traps. So again, stay tuned for that. Next engine is going to be the Horus engine. Of course, 3 Nemesis, 1 Happy, and 1 Sarcophagus, and 1 Walls of Tombs. So the reason why I played the fill spell in this version with the 1 King Sarcophagus is because you can actually search this, which can search this, which can search this. So that was pretty much the idea. If you milled any of these cards, like you milled this or you need to search this, then you can just shuffle them back and then you have full access for the package. So very strong there. Next field spell package is 1 Fenrir and 1 Pressure Planet. And the reason why I play 1 and 1 is because this gives me access to Tier Cash or Fenrir. And if I have access to Fenrir, I never search another Fenrir. And he's not a great mill or anything like that, so I didn't want to like see multiple copies of Fenrir to mill. And technically, he's not really a real starter. He is an interruption, but searching Tier Cash in a bad hand doesn't really do much. So you still need other cards in your hand to play. So that's why I didn't max out the Fenrir. But you still have consistent ways to get this because you can still search this card. So it's like playing multiple copies of Fenrir, but you'll never see multiple copies of Fenrir. Going into the Nemesis package, we play 1 Protos, we play 1 Flag, 1 Umbrella, and 1 Corridor. So this is my mistake. So when I was making this list, I was like, oh, maybe I can get away with playing like 1 Flag or, you know, like 1 Corridor and be fine. Because technically this package helps you play through Shifter if you hard draw these cards, which is really insane. And Protos was crazy. I actually made Protos more than I made Colossus in a lot of game states. Colossus still pulled his own weight, but this came up more than I thought, because in play testing, I feel like I never could like really make this card. But in the tournaments, he helped me go second a lot, which is really, really good. And going first at that zombie vampire mill, I see what they're playing, because I remember I played against a Snake Eye player, and he milled 3 spells that was generic, and then he built an oak, and I was like, oh, he's on Snake Eyes. So then I just popped Flag and he basically lost. So yeah, Protos broken. So the thing I want to do in the next list is that I'm playing 3 of this. These 2 at 1 is perfectly fine. The fact that Umbrella is a Aqua that can help Kaleido Heart, that can help make Kaleido Heart. You can actually recycle all these cards back from the graveyard if you mill them early. Or for example, if you make a cross sheet play, you can actually special summon this to like bring back this, to put this back in your hand. And then you can still make the Colossus, which is really good. Or if you mill this, you can just shortcut into Protos if that's the line and just summon a monster. So yeah, but this right now, in course of my new build, I'm playing 3 of this, and it's perfect. Hard drawing this card because it gives you access to everything. It's the Searcher. I see people play 3 of this. I don't think you need to play 3 of this. If you're playing Colossus or the Protos. If you're playing Protos, you play 3 of this. If you're playing Thunder Dragon Colossus, you play 3 of these. And if you're not playing this. But if you're playing this, then you have to play this. And this is just like extra like fluff. Because it is an Aqua, but you can also like use this as a like if you mill your stuff, you can bring them back from the graveyard, which came up a lot, more than you think. So yeah. And then the last 4 cards, this is a 41 card deck. I played 2 goods for consistency, Rainbow Bridge, which I cut in the future, only because I had to explain in the next profile, because I don't want to make this one too long. This package was insane. Every time I resolved this card, I felt like I won. And this is just for consistency. And 9 times out of 10, whenever I do goods, it's always this, because it gives you a +1. And any field spell that you need, and making a Beatrice mid combo dumping this was insane because doing the Horus package mid combo was really broken. So yeah, that's the reason why I played all those field spells the way I did. Okay, moving to the side deck, we are going to show off one Goddess because I saw that Pearlies were really popular and I did not want to lose to a double delicious Noir. So I side decked that. I played the 3 droplets. I thought droplets was really sane for this event. I wasn't exactly sure what's going to be exactly popular as far as like anything outside of Snake Eyes. But I saw Pearlies were popular. I saw Brandon was popular. This helped, stop me from getting Puppet Lock. I thought it was a good card overall to like go into boards because Tears is very aggressive. They have more offense than they do defense. So Droplets I thought was a very natural card, which put in a lot of work. Double Droll. This card was cheeks. Every single time I resolved this card, my opponent still made like a decent enough board, and I feel like my hand wasn't good enough to always like push through every single time because, again, cash or Tearlaments can have those hands where it's like really awkward, and like playing into like one Fenrir can be weird, or playing into like certain like weird interruptions can like cost you the game. Yeah, this is gonna be taken out, and I already made my new tier list already, and I don't play Drolls, and I didn't miss it at all in testing. One Scatter Shot for time, double Ash Blossom. This is another card that I feel like it's good, but I'm not a big fan of side decking Ash Blossoms. In some decks, I guess it's valid, but you want to play cards that are more high impact when going into matchups. So again, when I make my updated profile, I'll show what cards I swap out. But basically, these Ash Blossoms, since they were only for like the branded matchup, I took them out for Visuals. And the Visuals in testing after the event was so much better, especially since it's an extra body on board and it's a 6 to help you go into Beatrice. Next, I played a double nib. This should have been at 3. Every time I drew this card, it was insane. A lot of people that played into it, or the people that like, I don't know, this card just overperformed. It was very, very, very strong every single time I drew it. I think every time I resolved this card, I won. So, very strong on that note. Yeah, this is a 3 in my new list, of course. And then my last little package is the Rescue Ace package. This package was insane. Very, 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 very good. Every time I resolved this package, it was like very strong. So, which I drove in post more because I feel like I side deck it and I feel like I never really see it. But thank God I didn't draw the Fire Attacker, because I don't think I drew Fire Attacker at all the entire tournament. So that was good. So that's the side deck. And then the extra deck, one SP Little Knight, one Spren. By the way, Spren's a Thunder. A lot of people were very confused that when I sacked itself for Colossus, they were like, wait, you can do that? Yeah, you can actually do that. As long as you activate a Thunder monster in your hand, which is Colossus. I usually link off Colossus Corridor for other things. And I usually like Eno Spren dump Merly, and then whatever Merly makes, I'll turn this into Colossus, and it was like great. Because typically you can't link with this card, but it's always like really cool that you can take it off board and, you know, use the extra monster zone for like SP Little Knight and stuff like that. So very clean, very clean. Borke Board Blocker. I play a lot of cards that are really bad in the hand, and making 2 bodies to, you know, this card also adds follow-up, but to also discard those cards that are pesky in your hand was really, really, really good. This card came up like almost every single time I went first. I say almost because sometimes you don't need it, and discarding cards in tier sometimes can be very healthy, especially if you're not discarding cards that will benefit off of it. But the follow-up with this card is very, very, very sick. One Crawl Sheep. Crawl Sheep is really, really good. I made this card almost every single time I went first, and it just has so much combo potential. I'm not going to reveal what I'm playing in my deck now, because there's a link I'm playing in my extra deck now that literally wins games because people don't expect it in this deck. I'm going to keep it a secret for now, but it goes very well with Crawl Sheep, because I always make Crawl Sheep and then I turn that card and link it off with the Crawl Sheep. So it's really, really strong. For XYZs, I played the one Bahamut Chart, one Toad, of course, one Beatrice, one zombie vampire, and one flame banshee. This card is insane. Sometimes it sucks when you mill flag because then you have no access to Banshee. It's the reason why I'm playing it at 3 in the new list, because this card is always live and you basically make it almost every single game. So yeah, card was insane. I love Banshee. It was like one of my favorite cards of the extra deck. One Collider Heart for the fusions, one Colossus, one Garua, one Dangerous, one King of the Swamp, or Mud Dragon of the Swamp, and one Draco Stapelia. There's times where I want to have 2 of these cards. Like, if I had space, and I don't know if I'm gonna see if I can make space for it in my next build, but 2 of these cards is insane. The fact that you can actually make this card right here and call any attribute in Protoss pops is pretty insane. So yeah, I'm thinking about it. If I can find space for it, I'm gonna try to see if I can actually make it. But it has some very good synergy because also it's a level 4. So making like the Banshee or making Totally Awesome is very, very strong. You always use it for that. But on the crackback, sometimes I'll like cross sheet this card back, and then you can use the Protoss to kind of like call any attribute if you see what your opponent is playing off the zombie vampire mills. And again, if you're playing something like, you know, Despia, like even like what's crazy is that like there's some lines where I know I can make it to Protoss. I go zombie vampire. Let's say I'm going as like Brandon, right? I can take their Aluber or they fall in the Albaz or anything that's like I know that can hurt them, or like maybe Blazing Gartasia, like a light. You can actually take their monsters, make the Protoss. This is why I love Protoss all weekend, because when I was playtesting it, I didn't think about it. But when I was, you know, playing in tournament, it came up a lot. So like you can actually take their cards and then make a Protoss and pop their monster, and you're always guaranteed to hurt their deck. It's really insane. So yes, guys, that's the deck profile. I hope you guys super enjoyed it. Look forward to the next tier deck and maybe some test hands and stuff like that, because this deck is really, really insane and really fun. I felt like if I would have played the list I'm playing now, I think I would have actually made it to day 2. But with all that being said, thank you guys for all watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one.